Today I'll be working on some mixed media embellishments. I bought these bamboo labels from Kmart recently. I get a pack of 24 for $3, very cheap, and I just wanted to bring them home and have a play with them, so I did. And right now I'm just gessoing one of them to prepare the surface for what I'm going to do to it. But I did try some stamping on these, which worked out fine. Some of the stamps do bleed quite a bit into them, so much so that the whole surface was covered with ink the next day when I came back to it. So I'd say just use archival ink as the only ink, or stays on maybe, that would work for this. I'm just going back in with the gesso now, because it's not quite as white as I would like, but I don't want to get rid of the texture. The wood grain texture is really nice on these, and that's part of why I wanted them, so that I could have that texture. Just drying it off now with the heat gun. These are some serviettes I bought with butterflies on them. I really liked the colours of the images, and thought they were small enough to work with this, so that I just fussy cut around them. Now I'm just going to glue them on with some Mod Podge. They're quite, actually for napkins, they're quite thick. They're 2-ply, so they weren't too difficult, but I wanted to place them a bit off center so they looked like they were sort of flying into the space. Well, this is a stencil by Carabelle Studios, a scripty stencil, and I'm just going to put some texture paste over that. This is a new texture paste to me. I bought it from my local cheap shop. It was very cheap, and actually after trying it, it's okay, but I prefer my Ranger one that I use all the time. It just gives a better image, I find. And these are some sprays from Heidi Swap. I don't remember the name of the colours, so I'll put that in the description. But navy and coral, I think, or just navy, and some stamps from 49 and Market, just to add a little bit more texture. These are stitch borders. And I do use the Distress Archival palette on this. Now I'm just stripping some of that spray on, and I realized I haven't shaken it, and so it's not properly mixed, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just dripping it down the front, seeing where the drips go and trying to move them around to where I like them. This is actually quite metallic, the navy, and it looks quite pretty. This is some acrylic paint from Semco. I think it's called Orange Blossom, and it's just some matte medium. I haven't tried this technique before, so I'm just going to mix these together, and I'm hoping that they'll, because the matte medium is actually quite fluid, I was hoping that it would just naturally drip down, but actually adding the paint to it, it became quite thick and it didn't want to move at all. So now I'm just adding some water to help get things moving. This is some peeled paint distress ink, and I'm just watering that down because I'm just still not quite happy with the colour, so I thought I'd bring in some of that green from the butterfly, and I'm just going to drip that down from the top. I'm not adding water directly to my project as I didn't want too much sort of drops, but I just wanted to be able to control exactly, or almost exactly, where everything was going to move. Well, this is just a big brush marker. I'm just going to do some shading around the outside of the butterfly just to help it blend into that background a little bit more. Give it a bit of shadowing and shading. This is just a regular black felt tip pen, and I'm adding the antenna back that I cut away in the beginning. Now I have some metallic paint from Prima. I think this is the steampunk copper, and I'm just gonna add that to the outside borders and just do a little bit of blending. I like how the metallic paint blends really nicely actually. this is just some Kindy glitz, or I suppose you could use stickles, and just adding a little bit of glitter, just sort of in little places where I think it could use a bit of shimmer. Now I cut it from the back side because it's easier to see where I need to go when I cut, so I can do it a bit more precise. And these are self-adhesive labels, so I could really stick them on anything. Could use them for my card making, or just to stick on a jar even, or in my planner, or whatever. There's the finished embellishment. And I made a couple more before that, and I really enjoyed them, so I had to make a video. And thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe.